For a long time, technology was seen as a man's world. But today, more women are stepping into the room, writing the code, building the platform, and shaping the future. This is Ember. In today's episode, I have with me a brilliant female software engineer whose journey has shown that sometimes the most powerful thing to do is to step into rooms where people least expect you. My guest is Dorcas. Hi, Dorcas.
Hello, Sefi.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming to Ember with Sefi. Okay, so let's just dive right into the questions because I have a lot of questions for you that I'm eager to know what you do.
Right.
I know you're a software engineer, and one may ask, who is a software engineer?
Right. So a software engineer is someone who builds. They build with technology. It's just as humans, when growing up, you learn a language to communicate with each other. So the same way for software engineers, they learn how the computer speaks, understand the language to use for the computer, and then use it to come up with websites, mobile apps, games, and then equally use it to solve users' problems, everyday problems that users are waiting for. Yeah, so that's who a software engineer is.
Right. So it's basically you understanding computer language and using the computer language. Just as I speak Tree English.
Yes.
So
exactly.
there's a particular language for computer.
Yes,
so
there's a particular language to use for computers.
Wow. Awesome. What did you study in school?
I read agriculture engineering in school, but eventually found myself in the tech world.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was that like? How did you get into the tech world?
Right. So whilst being in school, studying agriculture engineering, I took more part in activities, extracurricular activities more than academics. Okay. I was good from primary to JSS and SS2, but when it got to university, because I didn't get the choice of program I wanted to read, I spent more time on the field. So after school, we just went through the school to get a degree. But after school, that's when we decided to pay attention to what we really wanted to do. So we started preparing and understanding what it takes to get into the tech world.
I see. So what led to software engineering? Did you set out to say, okay, I'm done with school. Okay, this is what I really want to do. So let me go and take a course in it. What led you into it?
Right. So in the final stages of the university world, I think there were two guys came to campus and they were introducing us to these softwares like MATLAB, AutoCAD. I actually read AutoCAD to school, but I found it interesting how you key in few information and it just gives you diagrams and you're able to come up with something interesting and be able to use it to design machines as well. So we were more interested in that than doing the agriculture aspect of it. So we decided to understand how it all came about. So we were spending more time in school at the Vodafone Cafe. At the time, that's when Vodafone Cafe showed up. So we were spending more time in school at the Vodafone Cafe, learning on YouTube, learning the basics, the fundamentals, how these things come about. And eventually after school, we had to take part in serving Ghana too. So the national service. Yeah. We spent time in national service. We did what we had to do. And then after, it was not straight into tech though. I had to spend about 2 years in the house. All this time I was preparing. Because you don't know the next step. You have agriculture background. You are going to places, traveling around, trying to understand where you fit with agriculture engineering as a degree. But eventually, not knowing your destiny helper is also making waves. Yeah, she was also being on the news. I think she's called Ivy. She was on the news for various things about technology, how women can partake in technology and the like. So whilst I was preparing, my destiny helper was also on her way there, and eventually we aligned. Where I saw on social media a post about Python bootcamp. It was a 3 days bootcamp in Accra at iSpace GH. Then they were at Laboni. So I did what I had to do. I think there was a previous cohort, but I didn't have the requirement to show up then, where to live if I move away from Cape Coast and go to Accra. So I had to forfeit and then try again when the next cohort was open. So it was just a 3 days boot camp. I traveled, spent time with a friend, realized she had a used laptop. It looked almost old, but it was functional.
Wow.
So I took that machine and then decided to go for the 3 days boot camp. I had no idea what the boot camp was about, but I showed up in.
Awesome. So when you got to the boot camp, what was it like? Was it as you expected it? What was the reception like and everything?
Okay, so I attended the first day of the boot camp, and I don't remember much, but I remember Ivy introducing herself, what she's about, why we are having the boot camp. There was a co-founder who I am actually working with right now in the same office.
Okay.
So there was a co-founder, and then Ivy herself. She introduced us to the program, what it was about. We broke out into sections. We paired with each other. So few girls paired, sat at a close range, and then we started learning what Python programming is about. Because I mentioned that for a computer to understand you, you have to learn its language.
Right.
So the language of interest was Python programming.
Okay.
Yes, so we were introduced to the fundamentals, and then we were shown a demo of what it's capable of doing. And then we started building by doing as the moderator was doing. So we started building from there.
Right. Was this something that required you having prior knowledge in, let's say, mathematics, physics, or something that if you don't have such knowledge, it would be difficult for you to do?
Well, I was fortunate to have had a background in mathematics, physics. I was a science student in school, so but it doesn't really matter. You can come from any background.
Okay.
Because it's a language. Just as you learn how to speak Chiga, it's a language, so you can pick it up from the fundamentals.
Awesome, awesome. How long was this bootcamp for?
For 3 days.
3 days?
Yes, it was December.
Okay. So it took you 3 days to learn what you do now?
No, it took me 3 days to understand a language to be able to speak to the computer.
Okay, okay. How did your journey, progress from there?
So on the 3rd day of the bootcamp, as usual, you first start learning the language, watch how someone uses it. You do the same thing along the person. And then now you are left alone to come up with an idea. And as a group, use what you learn, use the language to come up with a tool to solve a societal problem.
Right.
So I think the girls I was with were from Legacy Girls. Yes.
Right.
So they were also
girls.
Yes, Legacy Girls. So they were also part of the bootcamp. They were learning how to code. So we came up with an idea. I think on our idea, we decided to come up with something called first aid.
Okay.
But we called it first care. I still have some blueprints of the project, though, but I haven't built on it.
How long was this?
It was within the same 3 days.
Yeah, no, how long was this?
2017.
Okay,
December
okay.
2017.
Right. Okay. So you came up with your, I don't know how to call it.
Yes, so we used the language, understood the framework that is used to make the language look like a web application. So we took the language, we built a web application of an interface where it assists you to understand first aid, basic equipment or aids. Yeah. So how to get a bandage, what to use the bandage for. It's blurred for me, but I remember the name was First Care.
I see.
At the end of the bootcamp, of course, you present and then everyone look at your presentation and then you are giving marks. I remember at the time we had, is it VGMA?
Yeah.
And with this Dell machine, and I was coming to present with the VGMA.
I see.
They were like, please put your machine aside.
So they gave you another PC to use?
Yes, of course. One of us had a better PC. So it was able to be compatible with the projector, and then we made use of it.
Right. So you projected it at VGMA?
No, we used the device, just as we have projectors now, even wireless ones, yes. This had a cord, so you had to use the cord to connect to the machine, and then we projected and presented our work. But I don't recall who won, though, but yes, that's the memory I have of it. So the bootcamp ended, and of course, you have to go back to your source, where you came from.
Yeah.
But I remember before I even joined the bootcamp, when I was seeing Ivy on TV, I told myself, just like professing, in the future, professing to yourself, I told myself that one day I'll meet Ivy. And then the bootcamp just happened. Someone shared this on social media and I met her. We had the bootcamp, we finished. I made mention of if there's any opportunity that comes, of course, you should let us know. So even though I went back, the opportunity came. We had a WhatsApp page. People were sharing job opportunities with some wild figures. At that time, we have no idea, but it looked a lot because you just come out of school. So we wanted to see what it was like to earn in the tech field. So we saw some figures. We're like, wow, we are interested in taking part of it. So another opportunity came. I think from December in the February, we attended another boot camp. This time, because I was preparing behind the scenes, I was made a facilitator for other girls who were also attending the boot camp and teach them some of the languages that I've learned.
That girl. Yeah.
So, of course, there were other men facilitators who were also introduced because they had advanced in what they had studied. So, yes, we had fun at the boot camp. That one was more than 3 days. I think it was 2 weeks. I don't recall. But, of course, you are compensated for facilitating. So, I remember I used it to top up some amount of money I had then. I bought my first smartphone with it.
Oh, shit.
Remember,
Nice,
I mentioned I didn't have a computer.
Yeah.
So eventually, the computer I used for the bootcamp presentation gave up on me.
Oh,
So I had to find other means to learn how to code. So I had a phone all the time. I'm managing with the phone. There was this website. Someone had equally built a platform to help others learn more languages.
right.
So there was this platform, I think it was called Solo Learn. At the time, it had started with just the basic fundamental programming languages we know about. So I started going through it and it was fun. It was just like social media at the time. You were chatting with people, you have no idea where they live, where they came from. But we had a common language by all of us understanding how a computer understood us for us to be able to come up with something interesting. So I built I built more community by going to such platforms, online resources. And I built community over there. I'm sure there are people who still know me by my username, but I will not recognize you, but you can link up back on Solo Learn. I'll go back there and then see what's happening.
I see. Interesting. That's quite a very interesting journey.
Right.
So how did you land yourself your first job and how did you put yourself in a position where you're able to get a job and all that?
Right. So the second boot camp I facilitated, one of the cohorts happened to know someone in the industry.
Okay.
So he introduced me to him, and then he was running a startup where he was into building websites for businesses. So he gave me the opportunity to come and work with him. He's Ernest. He gave me the opportunity to come and work with him. And then it was in Accra. So I moved from Cape Coast, came to Accra, spent time with the family, and then went to work every day.
I see. What work was it? Do you mind sharing?
Yes, we were using WordPress to build websites. It was not just in Ghana. We had clients from all over. Even clients that I didn't know were capable of having. So I was meeting interesting people I used to see on TV.
Yeah.
Yes, and when I go out for lunch, I like buying boiled egg a lot. So it became a name. Everyone was calling me boiled egg.
I see.
They barely use my actual name when they come around.
Oh, I see. Interesting. Yeah, typical Ghanaians.
Yes.
It's alleged that Ghanaians like egg, but I don't like boiled
It's
egg.
very
So let me
necessary.
just let you guys know I'm not a fan of boiled egg. I like my eggs fried.
Oh.
But that's just by the way. Awesome. So how has your career journey been like? Your first job? Have you learned new things on the job? And what are some of the lessons that you learned when you started the journey that has helped you
Right.
get to where you are now?
So with my first job, it was quite free because I was the solo person at the office. I think we're using a shared space. So he was still in the industry, but he mentioned he had a startup. So I was managing the startup whilst he was in the industry, in the corporate side of it. So every day I showed up at work, mingled with people in the shared spaces. Everyone was into different things. I think media, everyone was into different things. So whilst doing work, as usual, I mentioned, it takes consistency, exploring something interesting. So you've seen your first language, which is Python. You came up with more web application language. So you keep learning more languages. But you can't learn all languages, though. So you just keep learning more languages, the ones that are useful for what you want to build with. So I chanced again on another online opportunity. I think it was supported by Andela at the time. another online community. That's Google ALC Google with Africa, one of these scholarships online. So equally, it connected that with people in Africa. Then you are paired with a mentor who will take you through more programming language. You come up with something interesting. There was a challenge. We took part in the challenge, but unfortunately, I didn't make it further in the challenge. So it was a nice opportunity. I met people, and then that was it. But I was still working alongside.
Okay. So yes, how did that help you at your, what exactly was your role at your first job? Were you just building websites?
Yes, it's just to build the front facing side of the website. So there's already a framework doing the behind the scenes storage of information, showing the pictures, showing the content, the written aspect of it. So I was just putting the components together, and then you get the navigation, the menu, the header, the actions, click to donate, click to do this and that. So I was putting those components together. And behind the scenes, there were other languages the computer understood with it. So I was learning more languages with it.
Okay, so I know you currently work with Haptel. And how has the journey been? What role do you play? What was your role there, and what role do you play currently?
Right. So I mentioned in the beginning, I had the opportunity to join boot camps. So the same lady involved came around because she was following my journey even after the boot camp was over. She was following my journey. So she checked in once in a while and asked, how is it going? Have you started doing this? Have you started? So she gave me the idea to apply to companies in the industry. So she shared a few names and I applied, and one of them called me, and I ended up at Haptel.
Nice. Nice. So that was how you landed your job at Haptel.
Yes.
So how has the journey been like? Have you transitioned from one role to another?
Yeah.
And how was...
Okay. So joining the current company I'm with, I started out as a React developer. I mentioned there are various languages, so you keep learning. So at the time, what was being used was React. So I joined as a React developer, doing the work. It's one of the languages.
Okay.
So the language behind it comes with a framework. Then you build with it.
Okay.
So I was using React, one of those front-end languages, to come up with websites, building interfaces, and then using it to solve problems. So I started out at Haptel with that.
Okay. And then where are you now? Where did you move to?
Yes. So you start as an executive, a software engineer. You continue building. You take part in projects. You take part in decision making, planning. You take part in joining cross-functional teams. So I was I was front end at the time. So there was back end. There was people in the infrastructure. There were people in the customer service area. So we all come together, build it, deploy it. Customer service attends to customers who are using it or engaging with it. And eventually, once someone sees how you are doing, they give you another platform to go with.
Okay, awesome. So, I mean, I know this space is not one that you find a lot of women in. Most of the time, the assumption is that these are more for guys and all that. How was it for you as a lady going to a space like this? Did you face any challenges that had to do with the fact that, okay, there are not a lot of guys that are doing this. I'm going to be like the only person. Did you face any particular challenge? Was there anything that was holding you back?
In the beginning, I was not even thinking about the gender side of it. I was enjoying the journey because my journey. So I was exploring my journey. Nice. I just enjoy the fact that I get exposed to all these people who equally are interested in the tech world and they're wanting to build and get something done which will be useful to the society. So in the beginning, I was not even thinking about it. Eventually, I mentioned I came from a community of women when I started the boot camp. So now it looked as if you are the ambassador trying to present women across the industries that you are showing up every day at. So that's where the pressure started hit.
When you say pressure, what do you mean by pressure? There's so much expectation of you?
Yes, there's expectation. They are rooting for you. They want to see your journey. They want to see where you get to. Yes, so that's where the pressure started it.
Awesome. What would be your advice for someone who is looking up to take up a career in software engineering? And for someone who doesn't know, okay, one, is this something that is lucrative that I should go into? And if so, what should be the steps they can take to help them become someone like you?
Right. There's a misconception that being a software engineer gives you easy money. It is not true.
Okay.
It comes with hard work. It comes with extra commitment. It comes with even overriding yourself at a point. It doesn't come with easy money. So if money is your reason for joining software engineer, you have to rethink it.
I see. So what are some of the things they can do that, I mean, if they want guidance, are they still doing boot camps for young people who want to go into that?
Yes, of course, boot camps are still being run. People are coming up with innovative ways of drawing women who are yet to even hear about the software engineering or tech world to also take part in some of these initiatives. So boot camps are being set up every day.
Awesome. Let's talk about AI. There's this assumption that, or there is this, for lack of a better word, there's this motion that has been trending recently that AI is about to take the jobs of a lot of people. Do you feel threatened by AI as a software engineer?
Well, in the beginning, it's not comfortable leaving something you've become used to build things, to now adapt to another form of initiative to get things done. I'm not challenged with the fact that AI is coming to take my job, because just as we got introduced to internet also came. Everyone was wondering what internet was about, but we explored today. We have people making content on social media. So you just learn what it's for, how you use it, and then adapt accordingly.
Awesome. Do you love what you do?
I do. I love it so much that at times I forget those around me.
I see. Do you think it takes you, it keeps you in a bubble? Because there's also this notion that people in IT tend to be in their nets, and for lack of a better word again, they can be weird. They are in their own space, because maybe it's because you guys communicate with computers and things. Do you feel that way?
No, I mean, okay, there was a time in the beginning you are excited about what you are learning. You want to build. You want to build something, but later it will be, we want you to build this. So the interest goes down. You have to now adapt to other initiatives of why things need to be done. It's not about your interest anymore. It's not your opinion anymore. So you end up losing out on what you excited in the very beginning to learn how to code. Now you have to adapt to doing things with other perspectives. Right. So if you are disciplined enough, or make some, how should I put it? If you make friends who are not into the same tech world, they will get you interested in other
things,
hobbies, like even social media, content creation, reading books, attending programs, participating in events and all that. So it depends on the people you associate with.
What are some of the habits that you adopted along your journey that helped you rise to where you are at the moment?
Curiosity.
Okay.
Exploring things that look complicated to others, but you can see right through it because you started learning how to play with Lego rather than baby dolls. So it gets you excited to see how an equipment works. So, yes.
Awesome. Are you challenged by your work to learn other skills in life, like public speaking, leadership? Does your work put you in a position where sometimes you are forced to learn other necessary skills for yourself?
Of course. I mean, the way software engineering was portrayed to us on social media was having a laptop sitting by the beach and coding with all the background music. You're not minding anyone's business, but eventually you realize that you have to deal with people. So I grew into the people management role aside the technical skills that I had. So you have to adapt some of these soft skills and then make use of it in your people management role.
Awesome. What's the future looking like for you in the next 10 years? what are your plans with all that you've learned and what you can build with your knowledge? And all this? Should we be expecting some app, you launching an app or something? I don't know.
Of course. I mean, when I entered into the tech field, there was something that stirred my interest more into the tech field with all the challenges it came with,
Right.
which was helping a community that were available, but they were not exposed to the outside world, or they were not exposed to the other communities, to see that there are people willing to help, engage and partake in community work like healthcare, even introduce them to software engineering or technology and the like. So I started out by building a website for a non-NGO. And then to date, the NGO is still running. And I'm sure there are some few things they need to equally adapt with the modern technology, and then get more people interested and volunteer, and then impact the community at large.
With your knowledge in agricultural engineering and what you've gathered so far learning software engineering, do you have any plans of building something for those in the agricultural industry, considering the fact that Ghana and this part of Africa, there's so much we can learn from, so much technology that we need to adapt to in the area of agriculture. Do you have any plans of building something to help our people in that industry?
At the moment, there are other areas we are exploring, but eventually you go back to how it all started. So, of course, on default, on a daily basis, if you're having some of these challenges, we always say that you should have just gone to continue the farming initiative that we already started on. So, of course, there are opportunities we can explore in the agriculture aspects. We'll take part in it and then explore. But for now, there's an area we are looking at.
Awesome.
That's the finished produce of what agriculture comes up with and how people can have access to them.
Oh, awesome. So you're already looking at something with
we'll
that.
go to the source, but we are looking at the end product of what agriculture and then serving it for people to have access to.
Awesome. That's very, very, very interesting to know. One more question. This is more on a light hand. What do you do for fun?
I play video games for fun. I have friends come over at times on the weekends. At times we play it online. I also take part in events, like I mentioned, with the people management. You have to be exposed to more people and learn how to speak to another person, and even speak in a way that they can understand. Because at times you get lost with your technical terms, and you have to find a way to also relate to someone who doesn't understand the technical terms. I also spend time listening to audio versions of books. Usually when I'm reading the script, I doze off, so I prefer the audio part of it. I've also started learning how to do adult coloring.
Oh, okay.
It's quite soothing to release the stress.
Yeah, very, 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 very therapeutic. Thank you so much. I have some few quick questions for you to answer, then we'll be out of here. I hope it's fine. Yes, so Iresi, I have some quick fire questions for you, then we wrap it up with this session. So the first one, so just quick. You don't have to think too much about it.
Okay.
Front end or back end?
Back end.
Tabs or spaces?
Spaces.
Python, JavaScript, or Java?
Python.
VS Code or another IDE?
Another IDE.
Debugging code or writing code?
Debugging.
Remote work or office work?
Remote.
Stack Overflow or Google First?
Google.
Google First?
Yeah.
Coffee or energy drink during coding?
Energy drink.
Dark mode or light mode?
Dark mode.
AI helping developers. Is it exciting or scary?
It's exciting.
Awesome. Dorcas, it's been a nice time having you here. I've personally learned a lot about software engineering. Now I understand what you guys do. I know it's basically understanding the language of computer and using it to bring apps and so many things. And it's been very exciting. Thank you for spending time with us at Ember with Sefi, and thank you for sharing your knowledge with us.
Thank you too for having me on Ember.
Awesome. So guys, that's how we wrap it up on here on today's episode. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and comment. So we meet again next time. It's bye.
Bye.